Hi, friends. Meg here. Okay, it's been a little bit since we did an intro, but I really felt like this episode in particular needs an introduction. The great Charlie Chaplin said, "A day without laughter is a day wasted." Mark Twain said, "The human race has one really effective weapon, and that is laughter." And even William Shakespeare says that with mirth and laughter, let old wrinkles come. So there is power in laughter. Now, after our last recording session, we did icebreaker questions every week, and they were fantastic, and we have loved doing that. And I think we're going to continue doing that for the next session. But one of the questions we asked was, what was your most embarrassing moment? And the Southern Sisters do not disappoint when it comes to embarrassing moments. And that is what we are here to share with you today. It was an icebreaker question that ended up going on for 25 minutes. And so we just decided to use that as an episode. We are so excited to share with you our most embarrassing moments. We hope you will listen with a side of grace and that you will appreciate us letting you in to see the side that, not everybody always wants to share their most embarrassing moments. So I think that it was really great to share this with you guys. I think it'll be awesome. Now, before we jump in, let me just make a special request. If you enjoy this podcast as much as we have enjoyed making it, could you please leave us a review? It would be wonderful, and we would love to have your feedback and appreciate you for being here with us. All right, on to the show.
Real talk, real life, real sisters, and real Southern. Welcome to Southern Sisters. We're Megan, Lindsay, Courtney, and Evie. 4 sisters with 16 kids between us, running small businesses, chasing big dreams, and keeping it real along the way. Each week, we're diving into all things self-care, motherhood, business, and faith, sharing the good, the messy, and the hilarious moments that come with it. Whether you're striving for balance, chasing your dreams, or just trying to keep the kids fed, we're here to remind you that you're not alone. So grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and let's chat. Welcome to our episode today of Southern Sisters. We are so glad you're here. We have another icebreaker question. I really like these, guys. I really like these icebreaker questions.
I hope other people do.
Right? I think it's great. And our icebreaker question comes from Courtney.
Yes. I want to know, what is an embarrassing moment that you have in your life? And I guess I will start. Okay. So, I have so many. I just have so many. I don't even know how to choose. There was a time I ran into a pole whenever I was trying to wave at a popular girl when I was in 6th grade. There's the time that I vomited on a date because I choked on a Sonic peppermint when we were rollerblading with this really cute guy I was on a date with, and I sucked it up my nasal passage.
Oh my God.
Vomited, and he had to clean it off with a hose. I guess that's the one I should tell, isn't it? It's horrible.
No, I think this is good.
Just give us all and then there's the time my kids found out that I say the choice cuss word every once in a while because I was backing out of Mama Joe's giant hill of a driveway, and I was like, "Oh, S word," and they were like, "What, Mom? You said a cuss word?" And I'm like, man, I went 8 years without them knowing I had said the choice cuss word very, very rarely. Very rarely. I was like, man, that was a really good run. Good job, Courtney.
That was good.
And then the jig was up. Anyways, that was embarrassing. And, oh my gosh, no, I'm going to tell this one. Lindsay.
You should keep all of these in.
Lindsay let me borrow a bathing suit one time.
What?
And
I'm scared.
I took it on
How
I took it on an anniversary trip with my now husband. I
remember this. This is so bad.
This was recently.
I don't know it.
This is last January when I was trying to give my keynote speech.
Wait a second. I need to clarify.
Yeah.
I think. Okay,
Lindsay
I
gave
got
me a
rid
bag
of
of
no.
clothes.
I got rid of a bunch of clothes, and some should have been thrown away. Some should have been given away to my sisters.
I tell you this story.
This one ended up in the wrong pile.
Yeah. So
No.
Okay. All right. So we go to this amazing Opryland water park. Okay. And I've got this bathing suit. And Jared is like, Jared and I were like, let's go do water slides all by ourselves. No kids. It'd be so fun. This indoor water park. And so we go and we're walking around. We've been there a good 15 minutes. We did the lazy river. We were just walking around. And then finally I'm like, let's do the tube slide, Jared. Okay, we're going up. Thank goodness. We're on this higher up, like catwalk or whatever it is. How do you say? It's like a bridge. Anyways, it was above to go up to the tube slides. You had to go up onto this bridge and walk across. And then that's what I was thinking about. And then I'm going up onto the tube slide. Jared's behind me and he's like, oh my gosh, Courtney, I can see your beep. And I was like, what? Whenever we came down off the slide, he goes, look at your swimsuit. You have this giant hole in your butt, and you can see your whole butt. It was like the size of a softball. It was huge. And it was a black swimsuit with a pasty booty shoot. All right, let me go back. Okay. All right.
Wait. Refresh like you didn't say anything.
So we're going across the bridge. I'm going up into the tube slide. Okay. We're going down because we did a double slide. Okay. Or a double tube. And so we're going down this tube slide. And I just felt like there was a lot of water rushing up, my nether regions. And so I get off the slide and Jared looks at me and he's like, Courtney, I can see your beep. It's like, what do you mean you can see my butt? I reached down to touch my butt and it's just bare skin, this softball size hole. Thank goodness it was a skirt bottoms. It was a black swimsuit and a white booty. And it was oh my gosh.
What did you do?
So what did I do? Because I thought, oh my gosh, how many people have seen this? How many people have seen my butt? When I was on the high bridge, how many people were below me? Whoa. And so I grabbed the front of the skirt. I grabbed the back of the skirt. I tied it together in a knot. And I was like, let's go party. The show must go on. And then I called Lindsay. Out of it? And then I did. I made shorts out of it. I
Sounds
had
like she made a sarong out of it.
It was the seam that had ripped. So it wasn't even a hole. It was the whole seam had ripped.
Exactly.
So it was
like a softball giant size hole that I didn't realize was there until I was getting water whooshed up me like a freaking enema. What is it, an enema? Yeah, an enema.
Oh my gosh.
And I call Lindsay and I'm like, hey, Lindsay, so thanks for the swimsuit. And do you remember anything about it? And she's like, what do you mean?
What swimsuit?
And then she's just like, what swimsuit are you talking about? Oh my gosh. Was it the skirt? Oh my gosh. Was it the one with the hole in it? I was like, yes. Yes,
no.
It was. Thank you.
No.
Thank you for that.
No, that one was supposed to go in the trash pile.
Yeah, no, it did not. It was hilarious.
Sabotage.
Because
Sabotage.
Jared and I were just dying.
What lesson did you
That's
learn
so
from
funny.
that, Courtney? What lesson did you learn from that moment?
The show must go on.
Well, we know you feel
Just tie
that
it
way.
up and go.
Yeah. Okay. Will you always check the crotch of your swimsuits now before you put it in that travel bag?
Maybe. Yes, I will. Gosh,
Oh my
it
god.
was crazy. Anyone else?
Don't
Anyone
trust Lindsay.
Else? I don't think so.
Apparently.
What did I learn from that?
Oh my goodness.
No.
How can we even compete with that?
Right?
I don't know. What's yours? Do you have one?
When I was embarrassed in front of my kids. Yeah.
No,
okay.
embarrassed at all.
Embarrassed at all? Well, I don't really feel like I get embarrassed easily. I'm actually kind of oblivious when it comes to a lot of things.
That's totally true.
And so I don't really know. I'm sure embarrassing things happen to me all the time.
What about that one time? I'm just kidding.
Right? Like
but
you,
it's not embarrassing to you if you're not embarrassed. So what
Right.
a life, Megan.
it is a gift. It
You're
is a
the same
gift.
way.
I am the same
But I will say this.
It is a life, Lindsay, because you know what it's like.
way. What a life. Me too.
This is great. Sounds familiar.
Yes.
I will say, while I do not have embarrassing moments, I do happen to have a mouth, and I say things without thinking all the time. Like, especially around my kids, I'm completely unguarded. I just say whatever I think, and most of the time it's snarky. Like,
Yeah.
and this one time in particular, so my oldest child has a list of things Mom has said on her phone to say at my funeral.
Yes. I love that girl.
I had no idea.
Me either, until she wrote something down one time. I was like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm adding it to the list. What list? The one of all the really funny, hilarious things that you say so that I can say them at your funeral. I was like, well, that got dark. But one of the things, like an example of how this has bit me in the butt is one time she got a gift from a boy. This was like years and years ago. And it was a necklace with his initial on it for her. And I was just like, oh, that's so cute. And I don't remember this conversation, but apparently I looked at her and was like, oh, he just peed on you. And she was like, what? And I was like, you know, he just marked his territory with like sticking his initial around your neck. See what I mean? Like, it's just weird, random, funny.
He just peed on you. She's
Okay.
Like,
I thought it's because his name started with a P. I thought that'd be funny.
No, what? And so the funny part about it is she remembers this because your kids remember everything horrible that you do, even that you don't remember yourself. And so she has this really great boyfriend that we think is great. For Christmas, he gave her a necklace that had his initial on it. And she says to him, oh, my mom would say, you peed on me. And I was like, no.
Okay, now that's embarrassing.
That is so embarrassing. And I was like, no. And then he told his parents.
oh, man.
I was like,
I peed on Kate today. Excuse me.
Then people out south are
Kate's mom
weird.
said I peed on
I'm
her.
like, they're not Southern people. So they don't know. And now they think we're disgusting.
We are disgusting. Let's be honest.
Oh my gosh.
My butt's showing everybody. I show everybody my butt.
She's really great. He's really great. I've got a mouth. It gets me in trouble. So that is
Join the club.
this
We all
is me
do.
just saying whatever I think. I'm like, oh, he peed on you.
Now
That's
we
so cute.
now we see what Megan means when she says she's just oblivious.
I need to see that list. I need to see it.
Yeah, I
Real
want to
bad.
see that list too.
Yeah, maybe we'll have it shared one day. I don't know.
We'll have her be a guest on the podcast.
I guess we'll hear it
and tell
one
us.
day. She'll die before all of us.
Fingers crossed.
Oh, this got dark. Right. Well,
We can only hope.
So you guys don't know the story at all, but when Josh and I were dating, we were making out in the back of his truck. And like I said, this happened not once but twice in my small town in Arkansas. But we had a police officer come and knock on our window.
Go, Josh.
And one officer told us there's some hotels down the road.
Oh my gosh.
sir. It's not that.
So that's my embarrassing story.
You got pulled over
I
twice.
would be
No,
so...
we didn't get pulled over twice.
No, you just got busted.
Yes.
I would be mortified. I would be so mortified.
Oh, yeah.
So if you live in a small town, don't make out with your boyfriend in the back of his car because cops have nothing to do.
Right? Oh my god.
So I need to tell my story, but first I need to tell a funny story about Austin a couple weeks ago. Maybe a week ago. He was literally, I danced or did something goofy in the kitchen, and he was like, oh, Mom, this was his very first time doing this. He was like, oh, Mom, that was so embarrassing that I like did a little jig or something. And I was like, what was embarrassing? And he goes, what you just did. I was so embarrassed.
in your home?
He said, you embarrassed me.
In your home?
In our home, in our kitchen. I said, what? Excuse me,
How'd
you
you
little
handle that?
preteen. I said, you think I'm embarrassing? That is hilarious. I'm like, that's not embarrassing. Maybe for you, but I'm not embarrassed. And then I like kept bringing it up for the next like 3 days. And we were in the car and your boys were with us who like Austin loves. Your two boys that are a little older than him. And I said, hey guys, guess what just happened this week? And they were like, what? They call me Aunt Lou. What happened, Aunt Lou? I said, Austin, I did a little dance in the kitchen and he said I embarrassed him. Isn't that hilarious? And they were like, what? And I said, he thinks I'm so uncool, but he has no idea. And they were like, Austin. And he's like, what? They were like, your mom is the coolest. and both of them were like tag teaming him. Your mom is like the coolest mom I know. I know your mom is so cool. She does all these cool things and she goes all these cool places and she's so funny and she does. And it was hysterical to watch my son be like in his seat. He was like, Mom. And then I brought it up again the next day and he was like, Mom, I really do think you're cool. I don't think you're embarrassing. I was so wrong. Please stop bringing it up. You showed him. I was like,
That's funny. Oh my gosh.
That is embarrassing. I was not even embarrassed.
I think one of my kids tried that in the last year. And I remember looking at them and being like,
They're trying to shame you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I looked him in the face right in that moment and I was like, we don't operate like this. And they know, my kids know that, like, we've talked about it. I'm kind of free. Like, but one of those things is I'm like, we don't criticize each other. We are not embarrassed by each other.
No way.
In our own home.
Yeah.
Like, this is our safe place.
Totally.
To be our own brand of weird and it be totally okay.
Yeah.
Like, don't do that. I was like, and when we're out, we are a posse and we protect each other. And nobody better ever get a side eye like from each other that they are embarrassed of who people are, because
You get that enough from the world already.
Totally.
Just
to fight for each other.
deflates people.
Yeah.
Completely.
So I think it's great that my boys defended you.
It was
front of
awesome. And I don't think he realized that I don't get embarrassed. And there's very few things that embarrass me. So I'm going to tell a story because it's the only one that came to mind. I'm sure there are things that embarrass me a little bit in the moment, but I just laugh it off. Okay, wait. This is the truth, actually, is I love to laugh. Like, I love to laugh. And finding a good excuse to laugh is like candy for me. And I think it's so funny to just laugh things off. So I'm sure I have done a lot of stupid, embarrassing things, but that
just laugh at yourself.
That make me giggle. And if I have somebody there too, like me and Josh always get in trouble for laughing because we make each other laugh by saying and doing really stupid things. So it's probably good that he's not on this podcast because we'd never get anything done and we always got in trouble. But I have an embarrassing story. It was when I was in middle school and it was school picture day. So I was really excited because at the time there was this silky Adidas skirt that my mom let me get, and it was brand name. And I was like so looking forward to it because it was imported back then. And it was black with like little stripes. And you know, Mom, she has us dressed so like formally so much, and so I had to wear a slip, right? Because who wears a slip now, right? So there was this Adidas skirt and I was really excited to wear it, and it was really long, right? So it had the little stripes down the front and I was looking so cute and I was feeling so good about myself. But obviously was late because I had to look good. So in our house, if you were late for the bus, you missed the bus, you got in big trouble. It was like, oh no. So me and Courtney had to catch the bus and we were late, and Mom was like, you better get out the door, run. And so the bus was all the way down the street. So it was like probably 7 houses. So I remember I was like, oh my gosh, Dad's going to kill us. Mom's going to be so mad. We got to go. We're about to miss it. So I start running. Courtney takes off running with her little Jasmine backpack, and she was like, bang, 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 like running ahead of me. And she was
like
fast. Wing, wing, wing. And I was right behind her, and all of a sudden my legs were like ticka, 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 and they were really fast because this was like a closed skirt around the bottom. And so my legs were like ticka, 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 and I couldn't spread them very wide. And then all of a sudden it was like, gotta go faster. And then all of a sudden I could move my legs really freely. And all of a sudden then I was like full out sprinting, knees up, whoosh, whoosh, huge stride. And I'm like, this is awesome. I'm going to be so fast. And it did not occur to me until I got there. No, Courtney was behind me. And then Courtney, you weren't in front of me, you were behind me. And all of a sudden I was like, it just came back. It came back. I can see it all now. And then Courtney goes, white booty that day. Courtney goes, your skirt fell off. And I was like, what? And I looked down, and there was just thigh-high slit. You're welcome. And I was like, oh no. And then I start looking for my skirt, and I couldn't find it anywhere. I'm looking in the grass. I'm looking on the sidewalk behind me. I'm looking everywhere. And then I look back and all of a sudden I see the bus approaching with a bus full of kids. And it wasn't our bus, it was another bus. And I'm pretty sure it was a high school bus. So they start coming and I'm like,
Every nightmare. Not having pants. Like, it's like every nightmare people have.
Yes. So I looked down and it had like gathered all the way up to my hips, and I couldn't feel it because my backpack was on. So I pulled it down just in time, and the bus went by, and everything was fine. But I just remember being like, "Lindsay, you're screwing me!" And I was like, "What?" It was crazy.
No wonder I've never heard that story because I lived it.
Yeah. I'm like, Courtney, where was she? No, you were behind me. I remember you in that little backpack and turn around and seeing you oh so clearly. It's
Well, you would
burned
have
into my
never
brain.
looked for it if I hadn't said it fell off. Like I'd seen it.
Find it.
Like I'd seen it fall off. It's not helpful.
And there was like a
just
cute,
gone.
yeah. There was like a cute boy's house, like he was right there.
Chip. Yeah.
Kip.
Yes.
Kip.
He was
So
weird.
that's my embarrassing story.
Oh my gosh, Lindsay, that's a really good one.
I don't know that my kids have even heard that, but Austin would probably think that's hilarious. I was probably his age, so I was like 11, maybe.
Okay, so how are we going to shut this down?
Oh, man.
Tell us your most embarrassing story.
Yeah, tell us what your most embarrassing story is. We would love to hear it.
And if this made you laugh, just show us some love. We wanted to bring some realness to this podcast and just have an episode of us being silly and sometimes it's really important to remember to laugh. Remember to laugh at the dumb things. Remember to laugh at the hard moments. Laugh at your kids. Teach them to laugh and make it bring you closer as family.
If you want more embarrassing stories from the Southern Sisters, feel free to leave us a review.
Yeah.
And we will probably bring you more because we're people pleasers.
We have a lot. We have a lot of them. So
Perfect.
Keep striving. We'll see y'all soon.
Thanks for hanging out with us here at Southern Sisters. If you loved today's episode, don't forget to follow us on social media for more laughs, heart-to-hearts, and behind-the-scenes real life. We'd be thrilled if you subscribed to the podcast, left us a review, and shared it with your friends, because life's always better when we're on this journey together. Until next time, keep striving, keep laughing, and keep showing up. We'll see you all back here real soon.